Well, welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports.
We are back in the studio, live on the radio, live on YouTube. Got my boys Luke and Devin with me today. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Basketball season is over. We're moving on. There's baseball upon us. Obviously, the draft night is tonight, so that's exciting. But we're moving into a new time of the year of sports, and it's exciting for me, honestly.
Yes, sir. Dev, how are you feeling over there?
I'm hyped up for the draft tonight. I'm hoping there's some moves out there that the Kings make. And then, obviously other teams, I just want to see an exciting draft night. The Nets got 7 first-round picks. So, let's see what they do with those. But, I get to go to the Giants game tomorrow. That's cool. But I'm just, I'm still kind of sad about what happened Game 7 the other day. So
yeah, we definitely have an action-packed episode today. A ton to go over. The Thunder won the finals for the first time in their franchise's history since moving to Oklahoma City. So shout out to them. Shai, finals MVP. Got to give respect where it's due. Our guy, Tyrese Halliburton, went out with a brutal injury, tore his Achilles. Hate to see that. He looked like he was ready to play in that Game 7. So It was a heartbreaking one to see him go out like that. Never want to see, someone who made it this far in the playoffs, Game 7 of the finals. You don't see it often, but yeah, the brutal injury to end the season for them. So that was tough.
Yeah, not only make it this far in the final and make it to Game 7 in the finals, but the amount of things that he did to make it that far. Like him individually making it this far. It's just, that's a terrible way to go out. And I believe Dev brought it up on the show on Saturday, unless someone else did. The fact that maybe should he sit out? Because we talked about KD hurting his calf, and then he blew his Achilles in game 5. Yeah. So kind of unfortunate.
all number zeros who blew their Achilles
this playoffs. Yeah.
The
so
script was
that's
crazy.
Dame, Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton all going to be out all of next year. So that's sad to see for the NBA.
Yeah.
But shout out to Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers for an incredible run. A ton of moments we're never going to forget.
Mhm.
Tyrese put the world on notice. I don't think anyone can say one bad thing about Tyrese Halliburton anymore.
No.
Before the playoffs started, he was getting a ton of hate for, no reason at all, just being called overrated for no reason. And now he put his heart on the line, did everything he could for his team. And the haters are not going to be able to talk bad about him anymore because he did everything he could for this team.
I can't even say that there were many haters before, besides those people who were calling him overrated. But
Those
that's just,
15
I feel like
guys.
that was a new thing too.
Yeah.
I hadn't really seen many people, especially players, calling other players overrated for their game. You guys are all in the NBA.
Yeah.
And really gonna overrate somebody?
Yeah.
Come on.
We still need to see that list of who voted him.
Yeah. I feel like we have a good idea for some, but
Yeah.
no, it's just disrespect if players are doing that. And now like you said, nobody can hate on him, even if there were haters for Tyrese.
For sure. Well, we have a bunch to go over today. Also, Kevin Durant got traded on the same day of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Absolutely crazy. Kevin Durant is a Houston Rocket. Doesn't even seem real. Can't imagine him in that red jersey quite yet. But, I didn't think he would ever be a Phoenix Sun either. And then he got traded to Phoenix. So Kevin Durant just gets moved every other year, it seems like, at this point.
And all they gave up was Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And then a pick.
10th pick
Dude,
this
I would
year.
have done the same thing.
Yeah. So shout out to the Rockets. Big moves for them. They look like they're going to be a powerhouse next year. We were talking about it on Saturday. If Dylan Brooks would get traded, you were proposing that, more for the Kings aspect, giving up some big guys to get that 10th pick. But yeah, this trade blew me away. I didn't expect it. And I didn't think it was real when I first saw the report, but obviously Kevin Durant is going to Houston. So it's crazy.
Yeah, no, he had to complete the jersey rainbow.
Oh yeah, he definitely completed the jersey rainbow.
Completed that whole thing.
Yeah, he's got every color you can imagine on all the teams he's been on.
Joins a short list with Shaq and a couple other people.
Yeah, the orange Phoenix jersey, the OKC.
Shaq might have been on every team in the league,
except the Kings.
Hey, but he owned him.
He did own him, so hey, put him in the jersey. But all right, well, Anfernee Simons also got traded to Boston yesterday. That was a pretty crazy trade as well. I know Milo's hyped about that. Yeah. Getting a young guy. So, just for giving up Drew Holiday, the old point guard who was kind of falling off at this point, don't know how many years he has left, and then getting a young star guard like Anfernee Simons, that's big moves for Boston.
Yeah.
Something that could rejuvenize the fans a little bit. Tatum's going to be gone all year next year. They still got Jaylen Brown, but then they trade for, Simons. Exciting, young. He's been on the Trailblazers. So, I mean,
He's in a-
can't really take much from that, but he's been good the last couple seasons. And I think it was a good pickup. And it's something, exciting for Boston fans to look forward to since Tatum's going to be out all year.
Yeah.
They literally traded a guy who said he was going to retire before going to Boston.
Exactly.
For a guy who's in the prime of his career right now. Also dumped a huge salary with that. So they got below the $200 million tax cut, which is huge for them.
So Brad Stevens over there making moves, smart moves, retooling this team, not going over the salary cap. And I think, Boston fans are pretty happy about this move.
Yeah.
A move I'm not happy about, Jordan Poole got traded to the New Orleans Pelicans yesterday. I'm very disappointed. Jordan Poole is probably top 3 favorite players in the league for me. And seeing him go to the Pelicans, who, the Kings always have beef with every year. And I think Jordan Poole is going to be really good in New Orleans as well. I don't think it's a bad move for them. I know a lot of people are kind of questioning what they're doing and why they would do this, but I think Jordan Poole will fit pretty well there. And I'm just sad to see because the Kings are going to have to go against him 4 times every year.
Yeah.
I like it. If Zion's healthy all year next year too, I mean, that could be a nice little cold duo that nobody's really expecting going into the season. And, I'm like you said, I don't want to have to play him 4 times a year, but here we are. So that sucks.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great for New Orleans, honestly, next year. I feel like Zion, it was on the men to being a healthy player and playing back-to-back games.
Dude, and Trey Murphy, bro.
Trey Murphy as well. So, that's going to be and then DeJounte Murray over there still. It's going to be a team to mess with for sure.
Yeah. Who knows who's going to stay healthy or who knows what's going to happen, but I know Jordan Poole is going to show up for at least 75 games next year and average over 20. I'm expecting a big year out of him. Well, shout out to Alec in the chat. Kristaps Porzingis also got traded to the Atlanta Hawks in a 3-team deal. Boston really got nothing in return for Kristaps, but like you said, Luke, they're going under the salary cap. Brad Stevens is retooling this team, and now they have a lot of room to work with after trading those 2 huge contracts for guys who just don't really stay healthy.
It's a lot of room for them, and they're what was I going to say? I had something pulled up for it. Getting rid of Kristaps is like, yes, he's a great player, but I mean, he was a body just standing there in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Hawks are looking for something that can do that now, which I think it'll be great for Trey and like down there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was nothing going on with Kristaps in Boston.
Yeah.
And in this draft, hopefully they can get someone big like in the draft because they don't really have any rebounding anymore. Like Al Horford. Old.
He's 45.
Like 45.
He's 45. He's like 38.
Don't underestimate that man.
Hey, he's still tough.
They have like Luke Cornett and then Sam
Luke
Hauser,
Cornett.
but and then Keita. But they're all not getting. They're getting like 10 minutes, like maybe that a game. So
I would definitely think that Boston will pick up a starting caliber center.
Yeah,
maybe in the draft, maybe somewhere down the line in free agency, but they'll probably.
I don't know if you guys saw
for Jaylen Brown.
I don't know if you saw. Derek White and Jaylen Brown are on the market potentially.
That is crazy to me.
They said they were shopping them.
So
they're probably just listening to offers. I doubt but they're going to see what they can get.
Yeah.
If they can get a big man for Derek White, like I don't see why not, honestly.
I mean,
having Peyton Pritchard blowing up like this as a 6 man.
And now Anfernee.
And then Anfernee. I don't see why you would need all of those guards stacking on the same spot. So Derek White could be a valuable trade asset right there.
I mean, Derek White is definitely someone with a lot of trade value.
Yeah.
He's probably the best role player in the entire NBA.
Steph Curry off the bench.
Yeah, that's why I would question why they would trade him, because when they're fully healthy, you want Derek White on a team with Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
But then when
fits pretty perfectly.
When Jason Tatum comes back and you have Anfernee Simons and Derek White, like
there's a lot of guards out there.
A lot of guards
and not a lot of bigs. So that is a good point you brought up. I'd be very surprised if either of those guys get moved, though.
I would be super surprised.
Because
with Tatum being out all year, there's no way that they trade.
Yeah, if they do that, then Tatum miuld be on the move next year. If they want to just retool everything, then might as well.
You saw what the Nuggets owner said. What did he say?
What did he say?
We don't. The wrong guy gets hurt. We don't want to get into a spot where we got to trade 15.
Yeah.
That's they would never.
That's what they're talking about.
But I mean, that is like the new CBA though, which I did like at first, but seeing the after effects of it and like all these trades happening because of it, I'm like,
I know.
I don't really like that.
I don't love it. I don't love it because it's tough to keep a guy on your team for 3 years at this point. It's like you're going to have to end up giving him up unless you want to lose him for nothing. But to end the show, we'll also be doing a mock draft of the lottery today. So because the draft is tonight, shout out to all the guys getting drafted tonight. Definitely expect big things out of this draft. A lot of guys I'm excited about, and I'm really hoping Scott Perry can make a move into the top 20. I'm hoping at least the first round, man. Please give me something.
I hope you saw my comment. On the page on the Kings page today.
What'd you say?
Said y'all better make an effing move.
Yeah, we need a move, man. As a Kings
they were
fan,
hyping up, going around the office. They were like, "It's draft day, guys."
We don't have a first pick. What are we hyping up for?
Yeah, and the round 2's tomorrow.
Yeah,
bro.
we don't have
What
a
are we
pick
doing?
today. We don't have one pick
Hey,
today.
something's
Hey,
cooking.
hopefully, I'm checking Twitter every other minute, thinking that the Kings are going to make a
that's
trade.
one right there.
No, it's not. I keep hoping, but no, still nothing from Shams about the Kings making any moves. Just a bunch of rumors. Nothing really new. The Kings are always in the rumors,
Young.
and
No, that's
always in the
cooked now.
rumors, and then never make a real move. But I'm definitely expecting a move tonight. If I'm a Kings fan, and I would not be mad if all the guys on the team are gone today except Keon and Keegan Murray. Those two guys, I want to, and they already said they're not shopping them, even though they're
ridiculous to say.
It did come out that those two are getting the most buzz around the league for the most trade value.
But they're not moving.
They're not going to move them. Those are the two guys we're keeping. So I would not be surprised if DeMar DeRozan is not a Sacramento King in the next 5 hours, or
Malik
Monk, or Devin Carter,
or Domas,
or Domas,
one I'm like,
or anyone else.
I would be heartbroken if Malik.
Yeah,
me too.
That's the one.
Me too.
That's the one that would hurt me.
But I think we have to do it.
Unfortunately,
I think we have to do it. I think we have to go for a guard in this draft, and we have to get the value out of Malik that we can. Sadly, we probably have to keep Zach LaVine because the contract's huge and the value is just not there. DeMar,
trade Malik to San Antonio for their
pick. My God, I don't even
for
think
for their pick.
For 14, maybe. But yes, I'm definitely expecting a lot of things from the Kings tonight. In the next couple hours, I hope it happens right now.
I hope you're right.
It needs to happen right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll jump into Game 7.
Watch it happen right when we stop going live.
I know. We'll have to go back on live if something happens.
We're gonna be on the A show. The Kings just made a blockbuster.
Well, yeah, going back to Game 7, the Thunder won it all. They won Game 7, 103-91. They are the youngest NBA champions in over 40 years and the second youngest champions of all time. So shout out to the OKC
like average
Thunder.
Age?
Yeah.
Okay.
Average age. I think their average age was under 25.
They would have been the youngest ever, but Caruso, dude, ruins everything.
Well, he's only like 31, so he's not even that old.
But I think he's the only one that's like
over 30.
Yeah, so that like just,
25 and a half years old.
25 and a half is their average age, so the second youngest team to win it of all time.
Caruso was like 29, they'd be like 23 or something like that.
Yeah,
they would have.
Yeah, it's crazy that they did this.
That's insane.
No one really. I mean, they were obviously the best team all year, and they still didn't have a lot of believers that they would win it all because of their age.
Well,
and I was not one of them.
They were pretty good last year too, and I mean, they got bounced first round, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like that kind of carried over to this year, and it was like everybody's
second round.
And it was like, well, we got to see it but they were the best team all year. We saw that, and then they took care of business first round. And just every round really took care of it. And I feel like once they finally got to the finals, we were like, okay, like they're probably gonna win. Like this is for real. They're the best team.
Yeah.
And the best team won it all. So
yeah, they definitely deserve it, man. Got to give them
for
props
sure.
where they deserve it.
I mean that year jump is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean Sam Presti, is he now the GOAT?
He might be the GOAT. He might be the GOAT, and it might not be the only one they're getting because they're only getting better.
Yeah.
It's scary.
They can trade so much.
They can have a lot of. They have like 5 picks in this draft. It's actually like, what are they going to do with these picks? They just won the championship. I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. But they can only get better from here, and it's actually scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I was one of those fans that took stuff away. I was like, they don't deserve to be.
Yeah.
But they do deserve to be champions.
They're the best team all year.
They have the MVP on their team. Shouldn't be MVP though. Should be Jokic. I'm still standing on that ground.
Well, he won Finals MVP, so
you're not clocking it.
I'm standing on business.
I'm standing on business.
I'm standing on business. Shout out Justin Bieber.
Well, Shai was standing on business.
I will say though.
Okay.
Just listen to this.
Uh-oh.
So, SGA. Or actually, I'll start out with Tyrese Halliburton's stat.
Shout out Tyrese.
In the regular season, he shot 189 for 222 from free throws. The whole regular season this year. That's 85%. SGA shot 190 from 200 to 217
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
So he had more free throws in the playoffs
made in the playoffs than Tyrese did have all season.
Oh my God. We got to talk in the chat. I wouldn't touch Porzingis with a 10-foot pole.
He had 5 less free throws than Tyrese did in the playoffs than Tyrese did in the
I did not see
regular
that.
season.
That is actually crazy.
That's one thing I saw, and
I mean, it is crazy, but also to back Shai up a little bit on this, Tyrese Halliburton doesn't go to the hoop like that. He's not aggressive.
But
Shai it's a skill to be able to draw fouls like that.
217 in all the playoffs versus 222 in the whole season.
Oh,
that doesn't make any sense. I don't think
it's crazy. That's a crazy stat. I mean, Tyrese doesn't go to the line. He's not aggressive, but still, 82 games compared to 16.
If he went left more,
he would
get the fouls.
Hey, he would.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just playing.
I mean, yeah. Well, Shai's still, that's a crazy stat.
That's a crazy stat.
But Shai, I mean, he still dominated in game 7. Yes. 29 points with 12 assists and only 1 turnover. He did struggle a little bit, 2 of 12 from 3, but I mean, the 1 turnover, he was really controlling the game the whole time. And after the last game where he had 8 turnovers?
Yeah.
He bounced back and he had 12 assists, diming everyone up, getting to the free throw line. It's a skill. It is a skill to be able to get to the line like that. Not everyone can do it. He's really good at hooking people and, getting them to create contact. And it's a little cheese, but
that's the way the NBA is.
Shai, he's definitely still the best guard in the league at this point. I mean, I can't say anything else.
I mean, he just had one of the best playoff runs
of all time.
Yeah.
2 games under 20 points.
Oh my God. Only 2 games under 20 points in this whole playoffs is actually crazy. Well, also the big 3 for the Thunder were huge. Chet with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. The most blocks ever in an NBA Finals game for Chet.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Wait, for Chet?
No, for anyone.
Oh, I was like, okay.
5 blocks in an NBA Finals game is the most in a Finals game of all time.
Wow.
Beat Kevin Garnett and some other guy from the 60s.
It's super funny. No. Online, they're like, Chet, most blocks in a Finals game.
Yeah.
1 ring. This many playoff wins, and then it's like Wemby, no playoff appearances, regular season awards. Like, it's already started.
Put Wemby on OKC.
It's already funny, bro.
At this rate, like Shai's better than MJ then.
No, exactly. If you want to go off that. Also J-Dub had 20. But this whole Thunder team, man, is just built on defense, and they're built on, playing together. Guys like Alex Caruso came in and made an immediate impact. 3 steals off the bench for him and Cason Wallace, both with 10 points and 3 steals. Those 2 guys were huge all playoffs. Lou Dort, Devin's favorite player in the league, also had 9 points and 3 steals in this game. And then Isaiah Hartenstein with 7, 9, and 4. So those are their guys. Yeah. And they had a close group together, all very young in age and just dominating on both sides of the floor. So
watch them use those 5 picks to draft their future starting 5, and they're just going to have them on the bench with these
Nikola
guys.
Topic didn't play the whole year, and he was supposed to be a top 5 pick in last year's draft and fell because of the injury. OKC ended up getting him, and now he's going to be back next year.
I'm seeing
a 6'6" point guard who could be nice.
The whole team basketball the whole thing of team basketball is coming back in the NBA. There's no more 3. There's no more big 3 or anything.
This is a homemade big 3.
It's a homemade big 3. Yeah. And then San Antonio, I can tell, is working on that right now.
Don't say that, please.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Because
they are. You're not wrong.
Yeah, they didn't get rid of Stephon Castle because they want to develop him. Devin Vassell, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then they're going to keep one of their draft picks.
They got number 2.
They have number 2.
They're going to get Dylan Harper.
So they're going to get Dylan Harper.
The lefty Cade Cunningham.
They're going to be stacking all of this talent on their bench right now. And it's going to be them and OKC.
Yeah.
It's going to be the new Western Conference.
Hey, I like how you didn't mention one name in that, but he probably is the second best player on that team.
We didn't have to
Don't have to mention it.
Bro, why is the Western Conference so good?
It's only getting crazier, too. And the East is going to be so weak next year because of all the injuries. Yeah. All the injuries from the number 0s were out East.
The number 0s were...
The West actually better change his number.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was playing with the voodoo dolls?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the Western Conference, but it's tough. Well, on the Pacer side of this game, Benedict Mathurin came out big. He almost brought him back in the end, man. I had some faith, but I kind of didn't.
You guys were questioning my bet on him.
Hey, he had 24 points.
Hey, that's why
13 rebounds.
That's why I didn't hit though.
Yeah,
I almost put money on that. Yeah. I would have been so upset.
Williams didn't hit his 4 threes, and then Pascal didn't get 20.
Yeah,
I was so happy.
I can't believe Pascal.
That screenshot. I was like,
Pascal didn't get 20 points. Oh, he only played 37 minutes, and that was what really made me mad. Rick Carlisle. Yeah, he should have played 48. Should have played 48. You have to play him 48 minutes in this game. There's no reason to not. It's game 7. 44 at the least.
Carlisle messed up.
Once Hallie went out, Pascal, tell me if you need a timeout because we're not taking you out the whole game. But, obviously Carlisle didn't think like that. Well, Benedict Mathurin with 10 of 10 from the free throw line, brought him back a little bit
Dude,
to the end, made it close. Andrew Nembhard with 15, Pascal with 16, TJ McConnell, 16 points, 12 straight for the Pacers
Dude,
in that third quarter.
Imagine if they still had Hallie with all these numbers. Like,
and Hallie came out
won.
hot.
Yeah.
Hallie hit 3 threes in the first quarter, talking to the bench, calling them some bad words. I was hyped. I thought Hallie was going in for a big night. And
he was.
I know.
He
And
was.
I
Dude,
couldn't
that's
watch
what
this
makes
game
it
live.
even worse, bro.
Yeah.
Is like he hit those 3 threes. He was, bro. It felt like the Devin Carter moment in the one moment in the playing game.
Looks
I was
at
like,
the crowd.
that's what it felt like. And then that happens, and like dude, it just reminded me of the Super Bowl a couple years ago when Dre Greenlaw was running off the side, like just running onto the field, and it like popped his Achilles, and I was like, and that's the thing, because the weeks before, like leading up to that, like he came out like late in the playoff games because he had that calf soreness, and it was the same thing with Tyrese, and everybody was like, don't play, but I'm not gonna, I'm not mad at him that he played. Like, even if I'm a Pacers fan and he's gonna be out all next year, like
he had to.
You gotta go for it.
Players would have played.
No,
that game.
He said he doesn't regret playing or
and
anything.
seeing him like, out of the right outside the locker room with the crutches and like dapping everybody up as they came in, I was like, damn, bro, we was really about to see a legendary performance.
We were.
And then I would just remind him, I was really about to see the Niners win the Super Bowl. And then, no, I'm just kidding. But
oh my God.
Yeah, no, that just made it even worse that he was really about to come. He was really about to have a legendary game.
Yeah, starting the game, you could tell the Game 7 atmosphere was there.
Oh yeah.
I stood up in the national anthem watching it. I was watching the TV. I didn't even watch the game live. At work, everyone was messing with me. I had to keep covering my eyes, walking past the bar. Everyone kept messing with me. But someone who didn't know that I wasn't watching it, like, told me that Tyrese got hurt, and I thought he was messing with me. And then I went home and watched the game and ended up seeing that.
Would you have rather have like been tipped off, or like
I don't even know,
came home not new and then saw that and just been?
Well, I did my absolute best to not know, and I did a good job of it. And then that happened, and I didn't believe it. I thought they were messing with me because they kept messing with me, like, "Oh my God, you see, you hit the half court!" Like they were just saying random stuff to mess with me because they knew. Because I was telling them, not telling me the score. But yeah, Hallie looked. I was gonna say Game 7, the atmosphere was real. Everyone looked scared.
I got teary-eyed,
except Halliburton. Halliburton was the only one on the whole court, even on both sides, like that didn't look very nervous to start this game. Like he looked like he was ready for the moment and he wanted the ball. And he was one of the games where he's actually being aggressive in the first quarter. You don't see it a lot. And then the heartbreaking injury.
It's almost like it was just like it was like written in a script.
I really hope the Pacers can get back. I'm officially like a huge Pacer fan. Like probably my 4th favorite team in the whole league is the Pacers now. And I'm just rooting for them to, take this next year off, keep their guys, keep TJ McConnell, keep Pascal, obviously. Who is the third? That's tough.
You better put them 3.
The Wizards.
My bad. Oh, okay.
Shout out Sebastian. The Wizards are my 3rd favorite team. They are actually, but well, no, Jordan Poole's not there, so maybe not.
Now the Pelicans.
No, I have always hated the Pelicans. Always hated the Pelicans. But yeah, this was a tough one to watch. Tyrese, I just hope the Pacers can get back. And I do believe if the Pacers can keep this core around, they're going to re-sign Miles Turner, even though he didn't show up like I thought he was going to. He hit 1 3, and I was like, here we go. Here we go. I said he's going to hit 4 threes. And then he didn't do anything else the rest of the game. He only had 4 points, 6 points.
Did you still believe the Pacers were going to win, like, after you saw Hallie got hurt?
I didn't.
But you didn't know they didn't win.
I didn't know they didn't win, but I didn't really, because they were down like 12, and it was just they were fighting back. TJ McConnell was the only guy doing anything.
At halftime, I saw.
Yeah, they were up. They were up 1 at half. Nembhard hit a 3 at half to put him up 1, and I still didn't really have a lot of faith.
When was the TJ like late 3rd run? I was like, oh, bro, if this like, but then the 4th quarter happened.
They went. So after the half, the Pacers were up 1. Thunder came out 9-0 run to start the 3rd quarter, a bad start, and then they put TJ McConnell in. He scored 12 straight for the Pacers in the span of 10 minutes. No one else scored on the Pacers besides TJ McConnell. Absolutely cooking Case and Wallace, cooking Hartenstein. Anytime TJ got the ball, he was getting to that mid-range and pulling up, and it was money. He put it all on the line for him, man. TJ McConnell, one of my favorite players in the league as well.
He might get a statue.
He's definitely deserving of a statue in Indy. I think he's going to be a Pacer the rest of his life.
That's the goal.
I don't want to see him in another jersey, except the Kings. I would love to see him in
cool.
But I don't think it'd hit the same as Indy.
He just feels Indiana.
He is Indiana.
He's retired.
He is Indiana. Like he's meant to be there, and everyone loves him there. The emotion he showed after the game, it hurt to see, man.
I think he's going to retire there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
The 3rd quarter, it was 34-20. Pacers had 7 turnovers. Thunder had none. So the third quarter really decided it all. And the Thunder, they looked a little nervous after that, but they never really looked back. They never gave up the lead again. Well, going on to Finals MVP, Shai averaged 30 points a game, 5.6 assists, and almost 2 steals a game in the Finals. 4th player in history to win NBA scoring championship, regular season MVP, All-NBA first team, NBA championship, and Finals MVP. The only other 3 guys are Kareem, Michael Jordan, and Shaq.
Oh,
So a crazy year for SGA.
I don't see
Who
a
you
name
think?
there.
Yeah,
LeBron?
There's one name
Don't
that's
hate
not
on
there.
Bron.
I'm missing.
What?
There's one name that's not there.
Damn,
That's
yeah.
actually insane.
I don't know if
Bron has
Bron's
never
ever
done
got the
it.
scoring title. I don't think
Oh,
Bron's
yeah,
ever
I
like
don't-
led the league in scoring.
That makes sense.
He's because he always has a lot of assists
Yeah.
too. So it's
Yeah.
Been
like,
close, probably.
maybe he's been
Like,
close, yeah, but
that
that
makes sense.
that is crazy.
Take that one off, and his name would be there.
Facts. Well, the most points by a duo in the finals ever. Bron and Kyrie are on this list
16.
in 2016 with 398 points.
Mhm.
Shai and J-Dub were second all time with 377, and then Jordan and Pippen were
Dude,
third with 373.
Just game 6 and 7, Bron and
Yeah.
Kyrie had 398 points.
Yeah,
as
they
a
had
duo, bro.
41,
Dude.
but both had 41 in a game, which was crazy. But yeah, also going down the line in these crazy stats, TJ McConnell, first player off the bench in NBA Finals history with 60 or more points, 25 or more assists, and 15 or more rebounds. Shout out to TJ Nash.
Yeah, he's nice.
TJ Nash. Shout out to Jeff T. That's what they call him on the pod. TJ Nash.
TJ
He really
Nash.
does play like he does the Steve Nash dribble where he
does,
runs
yeah.
under the hoop and then comes back
He
out.
runs the whole
Yeah,
court.
he's so fast.
Mhm.
In 2K, his speed is only 75. Had to
Oh, we
up that
can
to
up that,
99.
yeah.
Had to up that to 99. In the finals, his speed was at 99. So shout out to TJ. Well, the Thunder clinched the first title in franchise history in OKC, became the 4th team in NBA history to win 84 or more games in the regular season or in playoffs combined. So the 4th team in NBA history with 84 or more wins. That's a big number.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Well, also parity is real in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
7
stupid
new
CBA.
champs in 7 years. I think it's good for the NBA. And
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see it
No.
back to back.
I don't think that's like see, but I feel like I do like that, but I feel like the CBA is kind of breaking that up a little bit. But we're still going to see new but I don't feel like we might not see a team go back to back for a while.
Yeah,
like,
That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Baseball, there hasn't been one since 2000.
Yeah.
Something.
the
Yeah.
It's the
Yankees were the
Yankees.
last ones.
Yeah.
That was their last championship. Also, Yankees fans.
No,
No,
2009.
Or
They got one.
2009. Yeah,
They got one.
2009.
Aroyd got one.
But yeah, I just
Still,
Aroyd.
2022.
hey, I like it as long as
That's a
you
long
tell
time.
me in the next 10 years the Kings get one. Then I'm like, all right, I'll mess with
I'm
that.
sorry to tell you, man. It's not looking too good.
Miserable.
Hey, but the NBA is the parity is real. Team hasn't won back to back since Golden State in 2017, 2018. Shout out to the best team of all time.
Yeah, shout out Draymond for breaking that up too.
Shout out to the best team of all time. 2017,
Saved
18
us.
Golden State Warriors. Best team of all
I
time.
do agree they are.
Hey, shout out to the Jordan fans saying they're the best team of all time.
Yeah.
Luke, I know you're not on board. KD,
I know-
Steph, Clay, and Draymond are torching Jordan, Pippen, and Ron Harper, Steve Kerr.
They didn't
You're
go.
gonna have
They're
Steve
just-
Kerr guarding
there's-
Steph.
How many games did they win that
there's
year?
There's no ring to it, you know.
No, they did get a ring in these 2
No,
years.
in this-
I'm saying with
Oh,
KD.
you're
This year
talking
they
about
only
with KD.
what they win like
Oh,
68,
man,
69 or
I don't
something.
even
like that.
want to. Man, Katie ruined the whole thing.
Hey, best team of all time. That's all I can say. Well, shout out to them. Well, I
I'm
guess
taking the Cavs over 2016 Cavs over them.
with KD
Oh no, 2016 Cavs over these two. Yeah.
over the team with KD.
Yeah.
It was they played that next year.
They
and
played
then-
2 years in a row.
I
and
know
it
they
was,
did. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
it's because J.R.
Hey,
Smith.
Kyrie got hurt. Whatever. All right.
KD's the
Man, no,
reason that.
yeah, Katie, I don't even give them credit for that. Like, I give credit to Steph and them, but Katie
Steph
doesn't.
and
Steph
Get
and him.
But
Hey, what about Iggy? Give Iggy some respect.
yeah, that's what I'm
Iggy
saying.
balled out.
Steph and
Death
them.
beam.
Like,
The death beam pointed at Earth if you want.
It's
Katie-
KD's
Katie don't
own
get
fault
no-
that he's been on 7 different teams in the last
Yeah.
4 years.
Shout out to the Rainbow.
that's why nobody gives them the respect in the NBA for those rings.
Yeah. I
People
think
call them out.
he might go down as the best scorer of all time, though.
I agree with that.
Like getting a bucket. Who
Yeah.
else would you rather
Yeah.
have
no,
than
I,
KD?
I respect Katie's
Yeah.
game. Katie's one of the greatest.
Oh yeah.
But
He should have stayed in one
Um,
spot.
If he stayed in OKC,
If it was OKC,
his OKC legacy is
was-
gone now.
if it was Golden State, like even if it was Golden State, like
Yeah.
if he was still there, I mean, they'd still be good.
yeah.
They probably wouldn't have maybe they would have had to got rid of Draymond or paid him less, but I mean, they'd still be good. So I think he would be a lot more respected if he did stay in one spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that OKC team with Harden, KD, Russ, Ibaka, they're
Yeah.
forgotten now.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
new OKC team took over and they did it. So
And I feel
it's
like-
not forgotten.
that's also because
KD's legacy in OKC might be kind of.
Well,
I mean,
don't
not
think it's-
Russ, because he
No.
got MVP and he stayed.
I think
Yeah.
it's-
But KD, he's not going to be remembered as an OKC legend.
because they
And
kind of
Harden,
went
yeah.
somewhere else and were better.
That
and
wasn't
did
Harden's
better.
Yeah.
fault though. Harden wanted
Yeah.
to stay, and then they traded him.
I guess you're right on
yeah.
that. It is Russ's legacy.
It's
there.
Russ's legacy
Hey,
there,
yeah.
but
they
now
got-
it's Shai and J-Dub
Yeah,
and
they got
Chet's
new
legacy.
They just want to chip.
They
Bro.
just
I ain't
wanna
feeling
chip.
bad for them.
It's
Yeah,
a new one. Yeah, I do
exactly.
feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Before we move on to Luke's Lock of the Week, did you guys see like the parade and all the interviews and all that?
No, I saw the. No,
Saw
I
some
saw
of the
the.
interviews.
I mean,
saw
I've been-
Chet
yeah.
stumbling over his
Yeah,
words.
I mean, I've been
Oh, God, I
hating
did
on
see
the.
that. That was pretty.
I've
funny.
been hating on
I'm
the
not gonna
Thunder
lie.
all year about just them being young and all that, but watching all their interviews and all their guys,
Dude,
it
yeah.
makes me like them
They're
a
all
lot more.
drunk for the first time
Yeah,
too.
they're like they don't even know how to open the
don't know how to
champagne.
open
Bro
the
reminded
They don't
me
know
of
what
me
they're
on the
doing.
bar episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "Let me lock in." Had to put the trophy down. That
And then
was.
they're all laughing at him. They, in the interviews after they won it, Shai giving J-Dub the respect, said this Finals MVP is his as much as it is mine. So very humble guy.
Yeah.
And
And then also Shai going to the Pacers.
that was big too.
room too
Yeah.
to hang out with
Yeah.
Tyrese.
Shout
for a
out
sec.
to the NBA because
Yeah.
they made the starting five, and they're five guys that's going to come out pretty soon.
Oh, dude,
about
yeah.
this year is Shai, Tyrese Halliburton, James Harden,
Jaylen Brown,
and then
KD.
KD.
Yeah.
A bunch of drama in all those, especially for Shai and Tyrese,
James
of
Harden
course.
gonna be at the club.
Yeah, exactly. Those are going to be the episodes that are funny. But yeah, the Shai and Tyrese. Shai went into the locker room, checked on Tyrese. Just mutual respect from both
Yeah.
teams. There was obviously feisty moments from both teams, but it was always respect, and you don't see that a lot in sports. And
Nah,
so, love
well,
to
I
see
mean,
it.
when something like that happens, it's kind of like when your superstars are like good people, like Shai. Obviously, he's a good person, and that's why he did that. Like that's
Yeah.
when you see that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So shout out to them. Shout out Sam Presti. Shout out Mark Dayton as well. Went from him and Caruso I think they won the championship in the G League
did.
together, and now they won a championship in the NBA together. So that's pretty cool. And if Jackson was on the show, I'm sure he'd be shouting out Alex
Caruso got
Caruso
a
a
real
lot
ring.
more. Oh, Caruso got a real ring. Jackson, if you're in the chat.
I saw that too. He said,
Yeah.
"No, I got a real one."
I saw Dom post that.
I got a real one.
Hey, shout out to Dom, the only OKC fan I know.
Yeah, literally.
Since I remember picking him up my junior year of high school, like I'd take him home for practice, and he would be like, "Man, the Thunder are going to be nice in a couple years," and I'm like, "Man, no, they're not. Like they won 22 games last year. What do you
Didn't see the
mean?"
vision,
And now,
right?
yeah, he saw the vision. So obviously, Dom knows ball.
No.
But all right, let's move on. Luke's Lock of the Week.
Looks like we
Luke's Lock of the Week.
I technically have two because we already talked about this man
A
earlier
lot.
in the show.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens.
Oh,
Oh,
I
Brad
like it.
Stevens is
It's a
my
good
lock
one.
of the week,
That's a
honestly.
good one.
He's making all these moves kind of like not in silence, but I woke up in the past 2 days with two new. I'm like, damn, like,
Yeah.
all right, they are somehow getting better. Like, and then also they're saving a lot of money too.
Yeah.
So props to them.
Yeah.
Like, props to him for all that. We already talked about. I mean, so upgrading to Anfernee Simons, he averaged 20 points a game last year.
Yep.
Like, his defense is still pretty decent.
Young Dame.
Young Dame.
He learned from
honestly.
Dame. He plays
Yeah.
like Dame.
So I mean, I think his scoring might take a little bit of a hit
With Jalen, maybe.
or it might just go up just because Jason Tatum isn't
Yeah.
playing.
He could
So-
average 25, and who knows?
Could average 25. He
Yeah.
was averaging 22 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
Shout out to Brad.
yeah, getting rid of Kristaps though. Again, I'd say is a great move for the Celtics.
Yeah, I don't know who knows when he'll play. You never know with Porzingis. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Zion thing. You just never know how many games you're going to get out of him.
Mhm.
It's tough.
I feel like he was always hurt whenever the Kings played them this year.
Yeah.
Well, the two times.
Yeah.
or he's just like hey, you
Even
guys can
even when
handle
they
it.
won the finals 2 years ago or last year, whatever. He didn't play like the whole playoffs, and then he came out game one and had like 25.
Oh, he got hurt again, didn't
and
he?
then
I
and then he
remember
got
that.
hurt
Got
again.
hurt again.
But he still went off in that game one.
Yeah,
Shout out Randy in the chat draft day. Let's go.
hell yeah. And then
Hey Wiggins,
I did have to. I got to give SGA a shout out too. I mean,
NBA champ, NBA Finals
champ,
MVP.
Finals MVP. Man went off, carried
Yeah.
the team,
Group
closed it out for him.
goat.
No,
No.
Best
No.
guard in the league. Yeah,
Best-
guard in the
I
league,
said Brunson's
probably.
better than you. No, I was on one. I was
Best
on one.
Thunder of all time.
I said whoever wins the finals is going to be up there in the rank, and obviously
Yeah.
Shai is
Shai's
probably the second
definitely-
best player in the league.
Yeah.
Jokic is one, Shai is two. Facts, Kings got to get a first round pick. We need it real bad. Give me Walter Clayton, please, or
Give me Walt.
Maxime Raymond. Give me him too. All right, well, I guess we should move on unless you got more on Luke's Lock of the Week.
No,
Okay.
no.
No more bets, man. Sad. Can't win no more money with
I
Luke's on.
can still do baseball bets.
Don't
So that's
bet on
tough.
baseball.
But
Don't bet
that's,
on
that's
baseball.
really tough. I don't know.
Bet on Jacob Wilson to get hit every day. You're gonna win some money.
Okay, yeah, that.
Get on
That-
base every day.
See, the only
He doesn't
reason I
get
say
out.
that
Yeah.
is because I told shout out my coworker Andrew. I told him this the other day too. I was like, because he like went to the game and he was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna make a bet. I gotta make
Yeah.
a bet when I go to the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you can't bet on baseball. It's so like
It is
you don't
tough.
know what's gonna
You don't
happen,
know what's
but you
gonna
do know Jacob Wilson's gonna get a hit every
He's
day.
gonna get 1 or 2 hits every
Yeah.
day. So yeah, that's
happen.
a good
walk
one.
first time.
Yeah, start the game. But all right, my ICU pick. Man, I gotta go with. I wanted to go with someone from the Pacers, but they lost. So I got to go
TJ.
with someone. I mean, yeah, TJ is obviously the
gonna
ICU
say
winner of the
Benedict.
year. Yeah, Benedict
Yeah.
as well. But I'm going Caruso.
Caruso.
Got to give him some love on the show. Alex Caruso
Jason
came in the
Wallace,
game,
too.
immediately hit 2 threes in a row after the Thunder were down early, 3 steals. The vet on that team, and he really just and also showing them how to open champagne.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
People were really like,
needed him.
I feel like people were just memeing, bro, all year because
Yeah.
he didn't really, play a lot in the regular season
Yeah.
because they didn't really need him to. But then, like, he showed everybody
Showed up
why
in
he's
the
so
playoffs.
important to them in the playoffs.
Yep. All right. Well, moving on to some trades. We already talked about it a little bit, but Kevin Durant going to Houston. They traded Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the number 10 pick, also 5 second-round picks for Kevin Durant. What is Phoenix doing though? What do we grade this trade on both sides?
Dude,
for Houston
F-
side,
Because
they have all shooting guards.
They
Memphis
also
just
have
got
all
5
Yeah,
first-round picks
for
for
Desmond Bane.
and you got 5 second-round picks for Kevin Durant.
I don't get it. I mean, obviously the Suns
Oh
had to
my
make a move,
gosh,
and they didn't
yeah.
have a lot of
They didn't have any leverage.
they didn't
at
have
all.
leverage. That's what. I'm
And
looking
they
for.
said they wanted a center,
yeah.
which I feel like worsened their leverage.
Hey, they have the
because
10th
they're
pick.
like, okay, this is what we need, and teams are like, we're not just gonna give
Houston
you
wasn't
that.
gonna
Like,
give you
yeah,
Alfred
Yeah.
Sengun.
Yeah.
They turned down a trade to somewhere else. They turned down a trade to Miami or Miami turned
Oh,
it down. They didn't want to give up
they didn't
Jovic.
they didn't want to give up Jovic
Really?
or Jaime or the pick. They didn't want to
It's-
give.
hey,
Excuse
so
me?
DeMar's definitely not gonna.
No, DeMar is definitely going to Miami now.
I
in my
have no
opinion.
idea.
I'm
dude.
expecting DeMar to be in Miami Heat by the end of today.
Hey, if we get 5 second-round
Give me the
picks,
20th
bro,
pick.
let's go.
Please give me the 20th pick. Walter Clayton coming to sack next Jamal
Oh.
Murray. But okay, yeah. So what do we graded on Houston's side? I don't love giving up Dylan Brooks.
B
Yeah,
plus.
B plus. Because you still have guys like Amen, Jabari, Tari Eason.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of
You
guys.
still have
so-
a bunch of guys.
Dude.
But the culture might be a little different now.
It's gonna be different.
Yeah.
I think
Having
Ime
KD
can whip
there.
bro into
Ime
shape.
can do that. You're right.
KD needs to take a step down from his ego chair, though.
I mean, that's who he is, though. He's a bucket.
I give it an
know,
A,
but,
bro.
Like, I don't know. There's
Houston win in the West next
it's a
year.
different culture in
They
Houston.
might be top 3.
They're going to be top
They'll
three.
be
in my
top
opinion.
three.
They'll be
I
top
think
three.
it's
already
kinda
on
like
top
They
the-
already were top
Yeah.
three.
It's kind of like the Jimmy Butler trade. I don't care what has happened outside of the building. You get a guy like the best scorer of all time. We were just saying for maybe he plays like 3 or 4 more years, and the Rockets are like now where he's seen, and they do good, and maybe they get to the finals. But I like it. I give it an A, and
Yeah.
they didn't have to give up Amen, Sengun, Jabari,
Yeah.
like that. That's
kept
just
their
crazy.
young
I just
core.
don't
Yeah.
know who's gonna be leading the team.
In Houston,
Yeah,
it's KD.
like who's the captain of the team?
I mean, dude, they actually have a lot of guys because I always forget about Sengun. They have KD,
Yeah.
Sengun, Amen Thompson, and they re-signed Fred
That's
VanVleet
what-
Fred,
today.
they still got Fred. Yeah,
Fred's a good
Like, I
point
just-
to have.
he's a
I don't
champ.
know. I
They need to let
feel like there's
Amen.
gonna be a lot of voices barking. And
I don't know.
just-
They're all young. KD and Fred will really be the vets on that team
Yeah.
now.
I really, as much as we meme Ime,
That's also
I
a
really
big-
do think he's
That's
a
the
good
thing
coach.
is they're young, so it's
Yeah.
a lot of people who are kind of.
But everyone respects KD as a young player. That's someone that they all looked up to, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, if Houston wants to be really dominant, they need to let Amen run the point because if
Oh
you're
my god,
let Amen run the point, Fred at the 2, KD at the 3, Jabari at the 4, and Sengun at the 5. And just let Amen play that, kind of prime Ben Simmons or Draymond role where he takes it up.
It's
And they're not
kinda
going to guard
nuts.
him. They're not going to guard him, but he can get downhill. And then he has KD to kick out to, Fred to kick out to, Jabari to kick out to, and then Sengun pick and roll with him. They're going to be pretty nasty.
That's
They
in my
pretty
opinion.
nuts.
They're going to be nice.
Pretty
Reed Shepard and
They're
Cam
still
Whitmore
gonna
got to
have-
step up,
I
though.
forgot about Reed
Yeah.
Shepard.
Oh
They're
my
still
God, he
gonna
played like
have
5 minutes last year.
Fred VanVleet too.
Yeah.
So I think the starting 5 offense is anybody besides. I mean, Sengun too. Anybody's
Yeah.
taking the ball up the court.
And
like,
the
that's
defense
gonna
is going to be nice.
Oh,
The defense is going to
Houston
be
might
nice.
be number
no.
one.
They might
I can't
be
say that.
them and OKC might be the Western Conference Finals next year.
That'd be sick.
Early prediction. But from Phoenix side, now they have they got 10 players right now, and all of them are shooting guards. You could pretty much classify every single player on their team as a shooting guard.
They're doing fantasy draft out there.
I don't know
what are y'all doing?
I don't know if they're going to keep Jalen Green. I mean, they got to get rid of Bradley Beal, obviously. I mean,
Oh yeah.
if he even lets them.
If
It's actually
does he have a
reported
no
that
trade?
yeah, him and LeBron are the two players in the league with a no trade
Wow.
clause. Him and LeBron. So shout
I
out.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And they tried to trade him earlier to like Charlotte or wherever, and he
He
was
said,
just
"Nah."
like, "No, I'm fine in Phoenix. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I'm cool.
My family's here. We're cool."
That's kind of
But yeah, so if they don't find a trade for Bradley Beal, that they're going to release him, and he's on like a 4-year
They're
max
gonna have to just
contract,
eat that
so they
money.
just have to pay
Yeah.
that. So Phoenix is looking tough, and Devin Booker is still there. I think he should be a Sun for life, but I don't know, man.
Does it still count
Devin,
towards
get the hell out of
the
Phoenix,
Get the
cap?
hell out.
If they
Yeah, it counts.
so they're still gonna
They're
like
still-
obviously they still have to pay him,
Yeah,
but it's gonna be like his
Against the
cap's
cap.
not gonna go. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
it's tough. That's
$50
a
million.
Huge, one of the biggest contracts in the league. So I'm giving it like a C- D from
Yeah.
Phoenix, and then like a A- B+ for Houston.
Getting paid $50 million a year until
Oh,
next.
him and Zach
2026,
Levine are the worst
2027.
contract in the NBA.
yeah.
Say it right now.
I hate to agree.
Jeez.
Hate to agree.
Why did you do this, Phoenix?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what they're doing.
You know what's crazy? Zach
You
Levine's
signed a
making like
29-year-old
$5 million more
shooting
dollars
guard.
than that. Too.
Yeah.
they signed a
Crazy.
29-year-old shooting guard who was leaving John Wall, and
John
he led the league
Prime
in
John
scoring.
Wall.
Led the league in scoring 1 year.
1
Bradley
year,
Beal.
and
Shout
then
out.
that's when
Send
they
him
gave
back to
that's when they
Washington.
gave him a
Dude, he's really
$40 million
29.
contract.
Who, Brad?
Yeah, he better be 30s.
That's not even that old.
I mean, yeah.
He's gonna be 33 next year.
33?
He's 32 right now.
Oh, that's old actually.
Basketball,
a couple
yeah.
years.
Basketball and
years,
baseball are like they're not as bad as football years. Once you get to 30 years of in football, you're like, get off my team.
Oh my
Like,
God.
for
I'm
real,
not
especially a
lying.
running
Yeah.
back.
For real. All right, well, a couple more trades we already went over. Anfernee Simons to Boston for Drew Holiday.
Sick.
And so Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks to Boston for Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday going back to Portland for the second
He's
time.
gonna retire
He still is under contract for a
Well,
big bag.
for like 1 year.
Yeah, 1 more year. But I think he also said he doesn't want to play in Portland. And I mean, Portland might be kind of nice. I was listening to something last night. They actually have some good.
Didn't they buy him out?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
when
So
before he
they
went to
traded
Boston?
him to Boston.
Oh, they
They
traded
like
him to
they
Boston.
traded for him and then they traded to
They
Boston.
started. I mean, to get hot at
Yeah.
the end of last
No,
year.
I'm
and
scared of
I was a
Portland.
big fan of their young guns over
Drew
there.
Holiday with that defense, if he does want to play there, could be kind of nice. They got and
I'd say
Shaden
just-
Sharp is going to be a star next year, in my opinion, averaging over 20.
What's 1 year of basketball, Drew?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I am happy the
Making
Kings didn't get him.
money.
I am, and hopefully the Kings don't trade for him today.
I
or
don't want to
something
trade
crazy.
for him.
You don't
Like,
want Drew?
No,
No.
I don't want Drew.
You want
I don't want.
you want Dennis Schroeder?
Yeah,
No.
I'd take Dennis.
I don't want Dennis.
I'd take Dennis.
Well,
I wanna go
That's
young.
not a trade, but that's a free agency.
Dennis
but I
need to
just-
go to a
I don't-
championship
We'll
team.
get Dennis longer than Drew, but
He
Yeah.
said it on the car right over here. That's a Darren Collison sign.
Yeah.
You're ready to
gonna
win
win
30,
38 games.
36 games? Sign Dennis Schroeder for
No,
your
but
starting point. I
as-
love Dennis
dog,
Schroeder.
I've been ready to win 36 games my whole life.
Yeah, you're right.
I've been watching
Hey.
dudes get. Never mind. Watching dudes win 36 games my whole life.
Yeah.
Not going to change now. Well, all right. Jordan Poole also got traded to New Orleans. Very sad about this one. So the Pelicans traded CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the 40th pick in this year's draft. Pelicans, Jordan Poole, and Zion. They're gonna have the OF people sideline. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Jordan Poole and Zion, the lobs. They're gonna have
Bro.
some. They're gonna have
City
some.
part two.
Yeah.
They said, where was it? They said trade Zion to Utah because the the laws out there
What?
on that stuff is super strict.
I
So
don't
you know,
know.
and then he'd be locked in. He'd be Hall
He
of
might
Famer.
lock
He'd
in
be the
Utah.
GOAT.
He might lock
No
in Utah. No
That's-
double M
I
out
can't
there
believe you
in
brought that up.
Utah.
That's hecka
Hey,
funny.
I've been seeing it. So Jordan Poole and Zion might be
I'm gonna see all
showtime.
those honey, see you all over TikTok, bro.
I don't know if they got the baddies like they do in Golden State,
I
but
don't
you know,
think
we'll see.
so.
Get Jordan Poole back to Golden State somehow, some way, please. One day, I'm hoping. Pool party. I need it.
I mean,
I need a pool party back in
Dude.
Golden
We'll
State.
go there when Draymond.
Yeah, when
and Steph
Draymond
retire.
retires, bring Jordan Poole back. But yeah, we don't have to spend too much time on that. Don't know what the Wizards are doing though. They
Hey, they're
traded
cooking,
Jordan
bro.
Poole and the 40th pick for CJ. Now they got a starting lineup of what? CJ McCollum,
Yeah.
Chris Middleton,
And
Who
they're gonna
else?
use that
Malcolm
free
Brogdon.
cap
Malcolm
space to go
Brogdon.
sign a
Marcus
superstar,
Smart.
bro.
What Marcus Smart? Like, bro, I don't love it.
Um,
I don't love it. I don't love it.
Hey, they're gonna win more games than last season.
Yeah, probably.
Hey,
Dude, they have
who's a free
they
agent
have
this year?
and Alex Sarr.
Alex Sarr. I think they're going to get a good pick in the draft. I think they have number 6. I think they're going to get someone pretty
I
nice.
think getting off the contract was the most important thing.
Jordan
'cause, like,
Poole is tough though.
I mean,
bro.
he
He
is,
wasn't
but
gonna do anything.
but that's
for
I'm
us.
also
sad.
30 plus mil that the Warriors paid him that you picked up, and then
Yeah.
getting off that's not a bad move.
Yeah, no, the Wizards are in no spot to be having any player like that.
Yeah.
That is
Jordan Poole?
well, yeah.
I mean,
'cause
he's young though. He fits
he's
the
young,
timeline
he's
more
young.
than CJ.
Yeah, I mean,
But
but
CJ's like 1 year left and all that. That's why.
that, and then Jordan Poole wasn't going to be the guy to take you
Yeah.
to the championship. Like
Yeah.
they're looking to
No hate, but
rebuild
yeah.
the whole thing. Jordan Poole
Blow it
was
up.
part of the whole. They had to blow it up.
They
a
have
while
some
ago.
young pieces though.
Yeah,
They
that's
got
the
some
thing.
guys that are there.
But Jordan Poole just was too much of a contract.
Yeah.
He's an asset to a team that needs to plug it in and then
Yeah.
go to the finals.
Will the Pelicans make the playoffs next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No, they won't. In my opinion.
You don't think so?
No. Zion's playing
Bro, they're
25
gonna
games.
bump us out, man.
Zion's playing 25. Poole's going to average 25. Trey Murphy's going to average 20, and they're still going to lose.
You
Trey
don't think
Murphy
they're
might
gonna-
average 30.
Trey Murphy might average 30. And
You
I
don't
think
think they're
DeJounte
gonna-
Murray's out for most of the year, too. I didn't really know
Yeah,
that till today.
I
Oh,
think,
he
yeah.
did?
He's out for at least half the year. So maybe it's good that the Kings don't trade for him.
Nah, I think playoffs.
Yeah. They'll
Dude,
be
the
around
West
there.
is gonna be so stacked. Like they
I
might miss
hate
the
it now.
playoffs.
I'm looking
and
at it
be,
now. Yeah, they might not even make
They
the
might
playoffs.
like miss the playoffs and be
Grizzlies
over
won't make it.
500.
Grizzlies are, what are the Grizzlies going to do?
Grizzlies won't make it.
Grizzlies will probably trade Jaren or Jaw.
Like
coming up.
the Kings and the Mavericks, we were under 500 at 9 and 10. Like
Yeah.
9 and 10 next year is gonna be like 5 games over.
Dude, we're never gonna be in the
500
playoffs
type,
again.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
cooked.
might never make the playoffs again. It might be another
Change
17
the
years.
CBA again.
Let's
bro.
go.
Change
Get
it again.
Domas out today. Like
This
everyone
is-
out. Let's go.
like,
It's
look-
not time
I-
to think we're gonna win.
I like had optimism. Like
I
at the end
know.
of the season,
I
like
know.
it's like, oh, cool. Like we might, but now I look at the standings, like again from last
KD to
season,
Houston now. It's like, oh,
we might not make the play-in next year.
I don't. I'm tired of patience unless it's going to be an entire rebuild. Like that, I will have patience for.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of this going year
just
to
bring
year.
fun basketball. back to Sacramento.
competitive. No, we're probably not.
I just
We're
wanna-
probably not.
I just want to have fun basketball. on
Yeah.
court. I don't care.
Yeah, if it's that's what I'm saying. Like if we like the Rockets last year didn't win a lot of games, but they lost a lot of close games because they didn't have that experience. But that was fun. Like
Yeah.
that was a fun year that they had. They beat the Kings 4 times.
yeah.
So I mean, if it was something like that, to where something better is coming into the future, like yeah, dude, please,
Yeah. for
I'd be
real.
completely fine with that.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Porzingis to Atlanta. The last trade is a 3-team deal. Confusing one. Boston, Atlanta, and Brooklyn. Chris Stapps and a 2nd-round pick to the Hawks. Terrence Mann and the 22nd pick to the Nets. And George Niang and a 2nd-rounder to the Celtics. So the Nets gave up nothing and end up with the 22nd pick and Terrence Mann. Celtics give up Porzingis and only get George Niang.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about the Nets
Minivan.
because they have 5.
They have 5
first-round
first-round picks. Hey, I say we jump into it. The NBA draft. We can
Like-
project what they're going to do.
Dude,
They have so many picks. Shout out to Jordy. I think they're going to be nice in the upcoming years.
that's
Not
gonna
next year.
be-
Not next year. Not the
Yeah.
year after, but the year after that.
Like,
Brooklyn will be tough.
So they have the 9th pick, right?
Yep.
And then they also
No, they have 8. They have 8.
Oh yeah, they have 8.
They have 19, and then they have
19.
26 and 27. And they also have 2nd-round picks.
And 22 from
And
Atlanta.
22 from Atlanta. Yeah, wow. Oh my God. They're not even going to have enough roster space
Yeah.
for all
No.
these guys. Same
They're
with
gonna have to-
OKC. They already have a full
I mean,
roster.
I bet half the Nets roster was from the G League.
Yeah, they can be. They can be
Happy
shipped
for
back.
Jordy
Yeah.
though, bro.
Yeah,
They
happy
might
for
be
Jordy.
nice.
All right, well, last thing before our mock draft is Kyrie signed a 3-year extension with Dallas. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. He's going to be out most of the year next year, but still, sign him in Dallas. I didn't expect anything else, so not really surprised.
That's actually so funny that
Yeah.
I'm going to sign you a $119 million contract, but I'm not going to play for you for a whole year.
For a whole year.
I mean, he had the
he's
option.
Kyrie.
He had the
Yeah,
option.
he's
in
Kyrie.
Atlanta.
He's Kyrie.
but I just
So
it's
like
still
he
crazy.
could have left after this year, right?
Yeah.
That was the current deal before they
Yeah.
just did this, and he had the option.
So he declined
they
his
were like,
player option
yeah.
and then signed a
So I mean, that's
extension,
cool.
yeah.
So he wanted to play with Cooper for 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exciting.
All right, well, will they take Cooper number 1? Obviously,
Bro,
right?
stop capping.
Okay. I don't know if you guys did
I
one,
already
but
said it.
all right, NBA mock draft. It's time. It is officially time.
I did one for the most part.
I did a whole first round draft. Shout out to 2K. I was up all night making these picks for every team. Okay, number 1 pick in the draft, obviously. Cooper Flagg going to Dallas. Obviously, we know that. We can move on. Number 2 pick, San Antonio Spurs. Dylan Harper. Definitely Dylan Harper.
Big guard.
Even though, big guard, the lefty version of Cade Cunningham.
He's going to be nice to stack.
He's going to be
off
nice.
The bench.
I mean, they have De'Aaron, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell,
They're fine.
and now Dylan Harper.
They're chilling.
They're a team of Ben Simmons type guards. Bro. Not like
Hey, LeBron,
not skill, but
we're
just
good.
big. Bro.
We got Dylan Harper.
They big.
Yeah, he's like 6'5", so he's tough. He's going to be like Cade Cunningham. They play very similar.
We're good.
Number 3 pick. Here's where it gets interesting. Me and Luke talked to Christian from Numbers on the Board like a month ago, 2 months ago, and we said we know the top 3 is kind of set, and he kind of went, I don't know if it is set, and I didn't know he was talking about Ace Bailey, but he was obviously right. Because Ace Bailey was projected to go number 3 all year, but now his agent is not letting him work out with any team except Brooklyn.
Or
it's someone who's running the show for him. I don't know.
Brooklyn, so he's going to be like that.
Brooklyn, Washington, or like Toronto, and those 3 teams are like way lower in the draft than what he's projected.
I don't think he drops that far.
I don't either.
I do think he slips from 3 though.
I do too.
I think VJ Edgecombe.
Me too. We're locked in here.
Yeah.
VJ Edgecombe going number 3. I don't think he's going to be that good.
I
don't want to hate, but I don't think he's going to be that good.
I mean, off the bat,
I saw one highlight from him all year where he had a poster dunk on some walk-on player.
I think he'll be.
And I think he had a really bad year, but his potential is still through the roof. So,
but I mean, he's good on the 2-way side. Like,
he can play D. He's athletic, so he has upside.
So
he has a lot of upside.
He's going to be better. I mean, I think he'll be better than PG at one point.
Yeah, Paul George.
No, I'm joking.
I mean, like,
but plugging in
right
there
now,
with Philly,
he probably is right now. Damn, Paul George is not good no more.
Podcast P is not doing
Podcast
anything.
P is not
so,
hooping.
I mean, plugging him with Tyrese.
Don't say that.
And
no, not Kings. John Collins has exercised his player option for next year, so the Kings aren't getting John Collins. Sorry, I always think.
No, I mean, I hate you. We should have got him 2 years ago.
No, I'm kind of happy we didn't.
But plugging him with Maxey and Embiid, and then also having Jared McCain right
Quentin
there.
Grimes.
Quentin Grimes.
He's a free agent, but they could sign him.
But
he went crazy last year. Quentin Grimes was hooping.
Yeah, I think VJ goes 3.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, I had that as well. So number 4, Charlotte Hornets.
This is where
I'm going Ace Bailey as well, but they have Ace Bailey already. They have Brandon Miller. We have Ace Bailey at home.
Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball,
and Ace Bailey. That's going to be tough.
I think that'd be good.
That's actually pretty good. But they're very similar guys.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey is like 6'9" though, so that could be
small forward.
Yeah, small forward.
I'm saying move him to forward instead of having him at guard.
Yeah, Brandon Miller is the next Paul George too. So
slide him to one spot.
I'm kind of liking what Charlotte's got going. They kind of need a big man. Mark Williams. I don't know if I love him staying there, but hey, they're looking nice.
Hey,
promising.
They're good with Taj Gibson.
Taj Gibson's gonna hoop for real. All right. Well, number 5 in the draft, Utah Jazz. I'm going with a scoring guard that they need. Trey Johnson.
Okay.
Going Trey Johnson.
I was gonna go with another big man. I was gonna go with Kaman.
You're going there?
Yeah.
I mean, if I wouldn't be surprised because then they'd probably end up trading Walker Kessler.
That's what I'm like.
And they
already want to trade Walker Kessler. So I'd say draft this guy, the center from Duke.
Yeah.
And then trade Walker Kessler for
something
like a guard or
to the Lakers
for a wing or something
for Dalton.
Exactly.
That would be nice.
So
that would be nice. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. But I'm going Trey Johnson. I think Utah needs that guy. They don't have a guy. They don't have that guy you can count on. I think Trey Johnson has the potential to be that guy.
Put somebody like with Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
Then
get Lauri out of there.
Well, we'll see. They've been trying to trade him for 3 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I like that you went with the big man in that aspect. Well, number 6, Washington Wizards. They just traded Jordan Poole. I would not have made this pick if they still had Jordan Poole, but I went with the guard.
I went Trey Johnson with this one.
Okay. I see if he falls there, they got to take
Trey's
him.
like a pure scorer.
He's tough.
So he would be a great bucket with them.
I went Jeremiah Fears.
Okay.
So Jeremiah Fears, he reminds me of Jordan Poole already. So you're trading Jordan Poole, who's a couple years older, and you're getting a younger version, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I would be happy with Jeremiah Fears going to Washington.
I have him slipping a little
bit. Okay. Yeah. So all right, you had Trey Johnson going to Washington. I had Jeremiah Fears.
Huh.
You think they should get Trey Johnson or Jeremiah Fears in Washington?
I mean, either one I don't think is a bad pick.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like that's what they also need is, I mean, obviously they just traded Jordan Poole, like you said.
Yeah.
But I mean, their best guards are CJ and he's 33 years old. And so they need a young guard for sure. So either one, like, I think I like Trey Johnson a little bit more though, just because Texas, right? I like Texas. So.
Okay. I like that. Well, number 7 in the draft, New Orleans Pelicans. This was a tough one for me. I really don't know what they need. They have like every position pretty stocked, and they're not.
Just get another sniper.
Yeah, that's what I went.
Put Con.
Me too. I went Con Canoopal there. So I would not be surprised. But they already have a bunch of forwards. Like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. They all need minutes. So how's he going to fit in?
6'6" though, so you can play him at guard.
You can play him, and he can shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
So
What's the big man you said?
Malawatch.
Yeah, come on, Malawatch.
Yeah, you think they're going to get him? I wouldn't be surprised.
That
I was debating
him and Zai.
But they just got Yves Missy, who was kind of nice last year. So that's why I'm kind of in the middle on that. I don't know where they're going.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they got Poole too. Oh, yeah. Well, best player available probably then. Like, that's probably what they'll do because they're like, we kind of got starters locked up. So, I mean, they're drafting for future and, somebody who could come off the bench now. So they'll probably go best player available for sure.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that.
This is a stacked draft.
It's a stacked draft. It is now that I've learned more about it. We're going to give it 2 more hours. We're gonna have a pick. All right. Well, number 8 was Brooklyn Nets. I went with Malawatch here. I think they're trading Claxton.
Okay.
And I went kind of the aspect you went with Utah, where they're gonna trade their center, so might as well draft this guy.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna trade Claxton to the Lakers. And I think they're going to draft their center, Malawatch.
Okay.
So
this is where
we had a similar idea.
This is where I have Jeremiah Fears going.
Oh, see, I would be hyped with that too. I'd be hyped with that.
Yeah.
I'd be hyped with Jeremiah.
Brooklyn always got people who could just score like crazy.
Yeah.
Never trade.
Jeremiah Fears and Cam Thomas backcourt. They're getting buckets.
Yeah.
They're getting buckets. No defense.
Cam Thomas might get traded.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They haven't traded Cam Johnson yet either, right?
Oh my God!
Dude,
still,
maybe they don't. Maybe they don't.
Or Johnson. That's what I meant. They needed to trade is Cam Johnson
and Thomas.
Yeah, Cam Thomas. People were trying to get him last year.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Number 9, Toronto Raptors. A lot of Kings rumors with this trade. Maybe Malik. Maybe Tomas. Maybe Devin Carter.
Hey,
I did in 2K for RJ. I traded Malik, Jonas Valanciunas, and Devin Carter for the 9th pick, RJ Barrett and Ochai Baji, and I ended up getting Kasparis Jukanowskis. It's a tough name to pronounce, but he's like a 6'6" guard.
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois. Shout out to him. I don't know. I don't love his game, so I wouldn't be too hyped with it, but getting a young guy like that.
I mean, he's got a long wingspan.
I need something like that. I need something like
Derek Queen because I feel like they could use someone kind of big down low to help with Scotty Barnes.
He is the best guy still available in the draft, in my opinion.
So, I mean, having him down low would be really nice.
I would like that. For some reason, I would rather see Malawatch than Derek Queen in Toronto. Call me crazy. I think he fits Masai Ujiri's category of player more.
It's not
foreign.
You said that, and I was like, wait.
I could see him in a Raptors jersey.
I could, yeah.
I could see him in a Raptors jersey. And we don't know if he's allowed to be
because they still got Ingram and RJ if
Scotty.
They don't trade him and shout out Scotty, bro.
Shout out Scotty B. All right. Well, number 9, I went Kasparis. You went Derek Queen. Number 10, traded to Phoenix. I went Derek Queen there because they have so many guards. Derek Queen could be a star big man. We saw him hit the game winner with Maryland. So I went Derek Queen for Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I went Kasparis here.
Yeah.
I'd drop him down to 10.
They need something.
Yeah.
They need a point guard. So
they need a point guard. But they don't really have anything else.
They have shooting guards.
This guy's he can run a pick and roll really well.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody to run a pick and roll for him.
They don't. They don't.
So,
they don't have a big.
I think guard would probably be point guard would probably be smart.
They need a point guard for sure.
I mean, Devin can probably do it.
Devin, he can play point.
Who is
do you
their
want
big
him
man?
to play?
Yusuf?
Nick Richards. They
Richards?
traded
Oh,
Yusuf.
yeah, they traded Yusuf.
Yusuf is not it. Nick Richards, 76 overall.
That's why they said they wanted one for KD, but they screwed themselves by saying that.
Derek Queen is what I'm saying. They probably, I think they're going Derek Queen here because if he's still available at 10, you got to pick him. All right, number 11 pick in the draft, Portland Trailblazers. I went with Carter Bryant, who I think has the lowest floor in the draft. I think he's going to be like Iguodala. He went to Arizona.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to be like Iggy. So whoever gets him is getting a real good player.
What pick?
11.
11. Who'd you say?
Portland, Carter Bryant.
Okay, yeah, Carter Bryant.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Iggy in Arizona. I saw a lot of player comps with him. Might be a little taller than Iggy though, so
I saw
could be
maybe
dangerous.
Suns could maybe
Carter Bryant.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Maybe go that way too.
I could see that. All right. Well, number 12, the Chicago Bulls. Lord knows they need a lot.
They need a center right now, dude.
I went with foreign big man who I don't know a lot about. No Asenge. I think he's like 6'11".
Name.
Couple more.
I think he's 6'11" center.
I got Thomas Sorber from Georgetown.
See, I like him too.
They need a big man.
They do.
I mean,
they have so many guards.
Vucevic, not doing the
Get
job.
rid of him.
Get rid of him,
Yeah.
man. And they could, they have a lot of guards. Kobe Bryant, or
Kobe Bryant.
Shout out
Kobe White.
Kobe White.
Shout out
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe White is going to change basketball next year.
I'm
Like,
not mad.
The way
Did
he
you-
was,
I'm with
the way
that.
he was going off.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you guys see? So you remember when those Spurs and the Heat played in the finals, and someone was wearing that Warriors jersey in the
and he was
crowd?
wearing the Kobe White thing.
Yes, someone was wearing, and
Yeah.
someone recreated it with the Kobe White jersey in the crowd.
Yeah, I
Stood
saw
out. So
I saw that.
hey, the NBA could be telling us
Chris
something.
Move in the picture of the
Yeah,
Ray Allen
Ray
shot,
Allen.
and you're just like looking and you're like, bro, that's Chris Move.
That's really Chris Move. I didn't know that was Chris. I didn't see Chris moving that till like a week ago. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
crazy.
all-
That pick is still
the
coming up.
memes, yeah.
What, over 12 years later? It's crazy.
Same finals.
But yeah, so I went Noah Sengate. You went Thomas
Thomas.
Sorber. I think
Yeah.
that's a little high for him, but I would not be mad. Also, a guy that's falling for both of us is the guy I'm picking at 13 for Atlanta, Ager Demon.
Yeah.
He's tough.
I have him
If
at
the
13.
Kings get number 9, I'd rather get
Hey.
Ager Demon than Kasparis.
I'm scared of BYU guards.
Me too, but he's 6'9", so he's tough. I saw him playing in the
Nice.
March Madness. He
that
was
should
going
be our
off.
pick, bro.
I know. I'm saying if we get
Fucking
number
Kev.
9, if we get number 9,
It's a
yeah,
nice
of
height
course,
right there.
Kev. Of
Yeah.
course, Kev. We would have had 13 and would have.
I hate
Kevin
you,
Herter.
Kev.
I
Kevin
hope we
Herter.
got a pick in front of Atlanta and we steal whoever they were going to pick.
Yeah, I asked my dad. I talked to my dad about the draft today, and he said we don't have a pick. How?
Bro.
Who do we trade our pick for? I was like, your boy. Who do you think? Kevin Herter. And
Yeah.
he said we should have kept Kev.
Yeah, don't
I'm
trade
like,
good
no,
shooters.
we shouldn't have kept Kev.
We should
Actually,
not have kept
definitely
him.
not
I'm
kept
glad
him.
Don't
we got
trade
him.
good shooters.
Don't trade good shooters. All right. Well, 13, I went Ager Demon. Who'd you go?
I agree with Devin.
Okay. Yeah. He fell pretty far. He's supposed to be top 10, but I just don't know where else he could go.
It's a matter of case scenarios with different
Yeah,
teams and
it
stuff.
is, it
that
is.
Some people don't need.
Yeah.
If we
That's why-
traded into, sorry, go
That's
ahead.
why what's his name dropped. That's why Aaron Rodgers dropped so far.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted by the Niners first
Oh.
overall, so he dropped all the way down to Green
Yeah, took
Bay.
Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Shout out. Shout out. Alex
Don't
Smith.
talk about that.
All right.
I would want Edgar if we traded into the first and didn't get Walter. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be my other guard that
Yeah.
I want. Now that I figured out he's 6'9", bro, come on.
Yeah,
That
come
was
on.
sick.
We need that. We need that. Nice. 6'9".
Nice.
All right. Well, 14, San Antonio Spurs.
That's
They
where
have
Noah.
another pick. Who'd you get?
I think Noah goes
A
here.
Senge?
Yeah.
I could see that. They always like those, tall.
Centers.
Put him next to Wemby. That's kind of
Bro,
dangerous.
twin
Yeah.
tap-
I got
wait,
Rasheer Fleming, who's he's like a 6'9", 4", who just hustles and he gets a bunch of rebounds. I think Rasheer Fleming could be a good pick there,
Like
but I wouldn't be mad at it.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
kinda-
that could be I mean, they got their pieces. They just need, a rookie who's going to come in, hustle, and, do little things.
Yeah, exactly. So you went Noah
Noah,
Senge. I like
yeah.
that. I like that actually. 15. How did they have the 15th pick in the draft? Oklahoma City Thunder.
Well, Heat-
'cause
They just won the championship 2
this is-
days ago,
I
and they have the
wonder what-
15th pick in the
I
draft.
wonder what trade this came from.
I don't. Yeah,
something
I actually
from the
don't
Heat.
know.
It says via Miami.
Okay, via Miami. Who knows? Who knows how they ended up getting it? But they
Probably
did.
something like
Sam
small.
Presti. Sam Presti is
And they
pulling
got the
strings. I went someone who else is projected to go in the top 10 in a lot of draft is Colin Murray Boyles. Kind of reminds me of Keegan a little bit.
Okay.
I think he's a lefty, and his jumper is really ugly though. So maybe it doesn't remind me of Keegan. Maybe it's just the Murray that's throwing me off, and he's a forward. But yeah, Colin Murray Boyles.
Wow.
I went with him at 15.
The Oklahoma City Thunder acquired the 15th overall pick in the 2025 draft from the Miami Heat. This pick was a part of the compensation the Heat owed the Thunder from a
What?
previous trade involving Paul George in 2019.
Oh my!
Specifically, the Thunder had the option to receive either the Heat's 2025 first-round pick or their 2026 unprotected first-round pick, and they chose the 2025 pick.
Well, they probably made the better choice.
They made the better decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
'cause,
think
like,
they'll be, they'll have probably a 20s pick next year.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Oh
did
my-
you only do the lottery?
Yeah.
Okay,
it was,
good. So I'll just fly through what I have for the rest. So I had 15, Colin Murray Boyles going to OKC. Memphis at 16, I'm going Liam McNeely, shooter, since they traded Desmond Bane. 17, Minnesota, going Nolan Traore. I'm probably pronouncing all these names wrong, by the way. But he's going to be nice. Foreign guard. 18, Washington Wizards, another pick. I'm going Asa Newell, 6'11", play him next to Alex Sarr. That's where they get their center for me. Brooklyn at 19, going Nick Clifford, a
Clifford?
forward. Yeah, Nick Clifford. Brooklyn can get a bunch of picks in this draft and do whatever with them.
Yeah.
20, Miami Heat. Please give this pick to the Sacramento Kings. Please, please, please,
Please.
please, please.
Please.
Please, Pat Riley, trade this to the Kings for DeMar.
Please.
You know you want that mid-range scoring. I went Walter Clayton at 20. Walter Clayton, probably my favorite guy in the
everything
draft.
I've seen, he's not getting past 20.
Yeah, we watched that Florida game at the bar.
That's
When he
that
got
was
the
so
rebound, ran out to the 3-point line and pulled up. Ever since that moment, I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a star.
We said, what?
What?
Oh,
He made that? He was on fire.
I felt like Steve Kerr when he first started coaching Steph.
Why would you shoot that? All right. Well, 21, Thomas Sorber. That he kind of fell for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a little earlier, like Luke said. 22, traded to Brooklyn. Ben Seraph from Turkey, I'm pretty sure. Shooting guard. So many picks. New Orleans, 23, John Beringer. OKC, Cedric Cohen. I think he's going to be really good, so that's scary. Hopefully he doesn't go to OKC. 25, Will Riley. They need a shooter. He's a shooter. Brooklyn, again, Jace Richardson, who is going to be a stud in the league. From Michigan, I'm pretty sure. So get him to Brooklyn. He'll go off. 27, Aduro Thero. Don't know much about him, but Brooklyn, he did it again. Another pick in the draft. 28, Boston. This is where it got interesting for me. Cam Jones, who was projected to go really high in the draft before the college year started. Didn't have a great year. Still has a lot of potential. Boston, they could use someone like Cam Jones. So don't be surprised. Phoenix at 29, Noah Penbay is what I went. And Clippers, John Toney at 30. But the Kings have the 42nd pick in the draft. So that's going to be on day 2 of the draft. Please give me Ryan Nembhard. That's my number 1 choice. You saw what Andrew Nembhard did in the playoffs, and his brother is a little shorter, but just as good. So give me Ryan Nembhard.
Down.
Or what Christian suggested us from numbers on the board. I've done a lot of research on this guy since he told us about the guy from Stanford, Maxime Raymond, the 7'1", who can shoot the ball, dunk on people, has a handle. He could be the next big man in Sacramento if we decide to get off Domas. So don't be surprised if we get Maxime Raymond. But yeah, that was my draft lottery.
Hell yeah.
Or mock draft.
Kings, please get a pick.
No trade yet from the Kings, sadly.
Please.
Only a couple more hours to the draft, Kings. Scott Perry, you better be on the phone right now. Yeah, we'll close out on Beam City Sports. Go like, subscribe, all that. We'll be back on Saturday at the bar. Believe in A is coming out tomorrow as well.
Yes, sir.
Be back.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go. Kings, make a trade. Let's go.
Make a trade.
Please.
Give me the 20th pick. Please.